Hey guys, we've got news on Global for June 30th. All the anniversary stuff coming this week. And to join me to discuss all of it is Barry. So you can say hello again. You've been on once before.
What's going on, everyone? This is gonna be a long one. Buckle up.
Indeed, there is a ton of news, and I didn't even include all of it because the less important things. But starting off, we have our premium unit. This is a double banner. We've got a premium Wilk and Sylvie that I know Barry is super hyped to talk about. But we're going to start with the premium guy first. So, Wilk, were you excited when you saw him from the stream news, Barry?
I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, they always do well by the FF units as far as unit design goes, and the CG limit burst is absolutely fantastic, but I didn't expect them to do this at the same time as, well, what's coming next.
Sylvie, yeah. So he is a premium, as we kind of pretty much knew that from the preview of the vision card and all that. But here's the confirmation: 60k pity. There is no shards for him in the exchange shop. I assume that means the usual premium stuff. He's not going to have the 5k bundle, all that kind of goodness. But hopefully he is powerful enough to warrant all that. The usual fortune summons and all of that. And then the unit is a true brave shift. No cooldown, infinite duration, which is the best kind. Base form is just pure DPS. Shift form is DPS plus breaker. And we do know he has a defense break. What are your predictions for the percentage for that defense break? Do you think we're
Global exclusive FF CG. There's no way it's not 90.
premium
Um,
too?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Venera and Lara Croft, and if anyone ever crowned Locke, I mean, those units all show age at this point. Um, and we know how much they like to entice people to pull. I mean, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but I can't even say I'd be particularly surprised if they threw a 91 or a 92 in there just to entice people to pull premium.
Ooh, that would be like next level of creep because the way the math formula works, every point you get closer to 100, like it's exponentially more powerful. So like a 91 break would be a dramatic power increase over what we are used to at 90, like a really big deal. Most people don't realize how big a deal that 1% is going from 90 to 91 or 92. That would be game changing. It could happen. It could. But
I mean, it's no secret that people have been playing the game since probably 2019, are really excited about Sylvie on a banner. They have to do something to draw attention from Sylvie to a premium that no one knows anything about. 91 or 92 is an easy way to do that.
I would be definitely strong. And then his vision card is very good as well. We're going to get to the vision cards in a moment. I talked about this briefly on my little anniversary recap thing, but he has a two type STMR. He can swap between the two with a recipe, or the more convenient way for people that pull two or more of him, STMR Mogul a duplicate and just make a copy of both. And you don't have to worry about the recipe swapping.
Exactly. Hopefully, there's no weird item requirement for it,
Oh God, I know. Like the swapping the Clash of Wills gear. That's
right? Like a faceted orb or whatever.
yeah, that's the reason I don't swap my gear. Is that stupid item? If it was just Gil, I'd buy more recipes and swap as needed. But that orb just turns me off to it. So yeah, I really hope not.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, Ascension orbs are as expensive as UOC tickets, so that's not such a big deal, I suppose, but it just makes it an unnecessary expense.
I agree. And then his TMR is actually really good as well. It's only 50. It's only 55 attack, but of course we're used to like 120 and such these days, and more soon with like Roos and Titus coming. But it's still good. But it has 30% evasion, which is really nice, especially when you want to gear your DPS units for evasion. This is way better than Zidane's TMR, so that's real nice.
Absolutely. I mean, 2500 HP in this era of, fixed damage on an evasion unit. I mean, that makes an Omni cover Esther's Brave Shift much better.
Very nice. And this is really cool. So this is, people might not have seen the fine print. His EX ability, instead of Warring Spirit, it's fill LB gauge for all allies at the start of the battle. That is really cool. I don't know how
I
much it
missed that
is.
too.
Yeah, so it might not be a full LB gauge. It could be like a small amount or maybe a big amount, but not like a complete fill. We don't know, but if that's a complete fill for the party on the first turn, that's just next level awesome. I really hope it is.
If that's the case, they're not even trying anymore. I mean, come on. Now you go in, Sylvie imbues, you have an Esther and a Wilk who can just Extreme Nova LB turn one. What what is content at that point?
Exactly. Um, and then some previewed stuff. He's got the Fist and Axe in Peril for all enemies. He's got some killers for 4 races. The Magnus that can be recharged is his like Berserk thing with the defense break. So this is probably similar to Carton's Frenzy. So he might be a great turn one burster with like breaking and all, breaking plus Berserk at the same time. So that's super cool.
Yeah, I kind of hope that's not his break ability that we were just talking about, because if he berserks and breaks on the same skill again, I mean, what is content?
That is our premium, so definitely hyped for him. Let's go over the card briefly while we're going to talk about the specific unit. So here is the card. It is on global the highest base attack card in the game, plus 500 for Brave Exvius units, and a bunch of percent stats and 50 LB damage, and it fills morale gauge for the whole party every turn in Clash of Wills. And Trials upcoming as well, as we previewed from the anniversary. Morale is going to also be used in the global exclusive Chamber of Vengeance and the global exclusive enhancement chamber for the enhancement abilities and all. So, how's this?
That's spectacular. I mean, some people will have issues with the fact that one of the skills is completely useless in something like Dark Visions, but I mean, okay,
Yeah, like
don't use it, I guess. I don't-
it's still amazing even with just the other 2 slots. Yeah, and even for like a non-Brave Exvius unit, it's still 140 attack and 100% attack and 50 LB damage, which is great. Now that being said, I guess you really these days you kind of do want to get a flat stat card, so I guess a little bit less good for non-Brave Exvius units, but still really good.
It's still a vision card stat stick, worst case scenario, with 100% attack on it. I mean, it's still really good even when it's not.
Exactly. And now the banner that you were hyped about, I'm a little surprised. They apparently are sticking Esther on the banner with Sylvie. So how do you feel about this banner?
This is amazing. And it's amazing because, and I've had conversations about this for a long, long time with many people. I will die on this hill when I say that the most important banner that Global ever released was Sylvie and Esther, the original one, back in Easter 2019. And the reason being, so up until that point, for me at least, there was a lot of content that seemed pretty unapproachable. And even, if you are starting to dabble into throwing some money into the game, fine. And then everything happened with the quote-unquote leaked abilities on the data mine for Sylvie and Esther, and everybody's talking about all this ludicrous damage that Esther can do, but for me, Sylvie was always the better pull. And even to this day, if what we saw on the original data mines, which of course Gumi called placeholders, if that had been true, 7-star Sylvie would still be an absolutely busted unit because her limit burst would still do 100% elemental resistance for every single element in the game, which even now is absolutely ridiculous. But aside from all of that, even still, this banner to me is what really turned Global into a bit of a different entity from JP. Because at this point, we really started to see this was your big global exclusive banner that was really worth talking about. I mean, the holiday stuff was good, Fry's good, Olive was great back in the day, don't get me wrong, but this banner, shortly then after it came Xeno, shortly after that came Elena, that following Lunar New Year was the Monk twins. I mean, but this is what started all of it. So the fact that they're replicating this banner in the modern day with all of this absolute ludicrous absurdity that they've done with Esther and a unit who can single target imbue someone with a 250% killer, I don't really know what else there is to say about it other than this is incredible.
So I guess it's safe to assume that you will be pulling on this banner on Thursday.
Only a little bit, just a slight bit, maybe a YOLO. That's fine.
I didn't even look at the banner. We had so much news, and the news is actually quite late today at the time of recording, so I just kind of like rushed to post it all. I didn't even look at it. So apparently I'm now noticing we're getting the Armory step up on this banner, which is cool. Another one of the tickets.
We'll come to this in a second, but they added something new to it, and what they added is it's dumb. It's incredible. I wasn't gonna pull this if it was just the original four things. And then I saw the new thing that they added, and we'll come to that in just a second. But oh my goodness,
Now you got me excited.
it's
Okay.
really good.
So I was personally planning to go for Sylvie anyway because I saw that 100% amp. I'm like, wow, gotta have. But that makes it even better. And she is a non-premium, so that's good. Um,
I mean,
and
as far as I'm concerned, she's worth pulling if for no other reason than it's finally a Neovision support with more than 3 skills.
Oh, definitely. And I don't think I have the news page available for viewing, but in the shard shop, the fragment shop, the summon tokens, Esther's fragments are in the shop. Even though she's a premium unit, you do get Esther fragments in the shop along with Sylvie's. You're not gonna get summon fragments on Will because he's a brand new premium, but Esther's are gonna be in the shop, so that's really cool. Because she's still amazing, and she's getting upgrades we're going to get to in a few minutes. So, like, Esther is still a great pull, even though she's a little bit older, but not even that old.
Oh, and with her buffs, she's brand new at this point.
And then Sylvie is a buffer in both forms. Base form, healer. Shift form is DPS. I'm going to just throw out an assumption here and say she's probably not really going to be a DPS, like maybe like Louise tier or something. I'm just making a guess here. But, who knows? Maybe she's like a legitimate high-end DPS in the shift form, too. That'd be a little bit too far, but who knows?
Global really loves spirit scaling DPSs. So who knows? Now, her STMR is a little subpar as far as I'm concerned. But that Global loves spirit scaling units.
Yeah. If she is, I think I mentioned this in my video the other day, it is a one-handed STMR, so it's a little awkward for DPS these days, but it's really good. It's 1,000 defense and spirit, so she is definitely going to be very bulky as a support unit. That's pretty obvious. And then the TMR is, some spirit double hand, which is great. Oh, it's defense and spirit double hand. That's really good. That's really good. Let's see.
Also, so because you had just mentioned it, I pulled up the exchange page for this banner. They're only making, cause since Esther's on the banner, her pity is only 12 tickets, but you can pity Esther on this banner too.
Oh wow, that's really good because I would recommend players that
10.
don't have her try to get at least one copy and stick her in the Shard Dungeon, which is opening Thursday. Yeah, that's a really high value pull.
This banner's incredible.
And then, some preview free kits, remove status effects, add lightning element to, just her. I'm assuming she's gonna have a party imbue as well, like she has to. But this one is just for her, it seems like. But yeah, she's looking really good. How about the sprite though? What do you think about the sprite? I mean, just to be honest here, I think it's a little similar to the 7-star. I think they could have like jazzed it up a bit. I don't know. Like one nitpick.
I suspect when we see it in proper motion, it might look a little better. This image capture of a dynamic sprite is always kind of awkward. So I'm hopeful, but we'll see.
Yeah, hope so.
Sylvie's Sylvie. That's all that really matters.
And then Esther, she did get let's go over Sylvie's card real quick. Forgot about that. So Sylvie's card is it's good. It's good. It's not a premium card. It's a good card though. So a lot of resistance. The morale fill thing, depending on the value, could make it either amazing or just like a good support card with not much more to say than that. That really depends on how much morale it fills.
Sure. I mean, that's one less potential Galbana Lily you need.
For sure. And while we're here, we'll jump down to the upgraded Esther card. So now it's 135 attack, 110 defense. It also gained 500 flat attack and defense for Brave Exvius units. Other than that, the stuff is the same. But this basically brings it from a forgettable card to a proper premium card. Very good upgrade.
Yes.
Oh, and the base attack is now 135 over 125 that it used to be. So, very nice. We'll get to that in a minute.
This was a premium card.
It's very good now. And Esther got some LB upgrades. That's actually in a different slide. We're going to get to that when we get to that slide in a moment. And then here's the exchange shop, and I see what you're talking about. All you need is strength. So this is, let's see here, 50% attack, 100% LB damage. Okay, well, Chow's STMR got crept. And double hand. Wow. Okay, I see what you mean. This is...
You don't have to burn a slot for a spirit card plus LB damage.
Yeah, this is really good.
It's just so good. It's like if Kingdom Hearts Riku's STMR had attack or had LB damage on it.
Yeah, that is insane. Okay, so I've still got one ticket remaining. I didn't make a choice last month, so I guess I'll just grab this, and I'll just grab this month and forget the evasion gear.
Unless they magically make magical evasion or give a unit with innate 50% magic dodge.
Yeah, that would be interesting, but yeah, that is really good. That is wow. So if you pulled on all the banners, you can get 3 crazy materias. That is awesome. And we get a story event this month. It's a global exclusive story event. It's about Wilk, and I think it's about the whole fundamental forces, like Elena and all that are probably going to be in it too. Let's see. Oh yeah, we previewed the gear on the streams. We kind of knew this was coming, but are you as hyped as I am for the Eye of the Dragon materia? More sources of Extreme Nova?
Absolutely. I hope they have coded it so that it is only a single cast, so that we don't have to worry about making sure a unit only has one weapon. But if the modifier is high enough, I mean, why not actually build a proper attack unit?
Oh yeah, that'd actually be pretty cool too. And yeah, exactly. That whole thing with you can't use the lightning fast legends on dual wielders because it breaks the chain. That's really irritating. So I do hope they locked it to single cast when dual wielding, because every Extreme Nova is that way. So it just makes sense.
Wait, that's kind of poetic though, because if you remember, old school Esther's limit burst used to be AR chaining.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I remember back in the day trying to chain her limit burst with Lauren, and before I realized that if you dual wielded an AR skill, your chain was irrelevant. So there's some poetic parts to that.
Yeah, callback. And right here, the Chamber of the Brave. So this one, if you can see in the little fine print, they talked about this. This will feature morale. Not viewable from the departure screen. Oh, that means you can't see it on the setup, right? Yeah, that's fine. So are you expecting this to be like a serious fight instead of a turn 1 OTK like the Louise and Elena fights are? What do you think? Because they're putting morale in here for like a Brave ability fight. It's a little unusual.
Maybe. I expect it to be more serious, kind of how some of the earlier break gauge fights were, before you could really completely spam them out with Rosa.
That's true.
Maybe. We'll see. Maybe harder for some newer players. Vets, I don't suspect, will have a problem.
Be interesting. And then we're getting login bonus. We're getting a free card. So now we're going to pop back over to the Vision card stuff and check it out. So this is a free card. It's a decent card, especially for newer players. Just get completely free. Veterans are probably not going to use it too much. No flat stats on it, but it's 100% attack and magic, and then 50% fire and light resist, and 100 base. So I don't know. It's a free card. You get what you pay for.
That might actually even have uses for some faster clears in DV, though. I mean, you can't kick 50% light and fire resistance away too easy.
That is true. Yeah, the resistances could make it pretty decent. So yeah, we will see. Other than that, we are getting some nice stuff in the login rewards. 6 Master Crowns, 6 Red Pearls. If you're a newer player, that can be very useful. Wait, not that. Where's the Emperor? Here it is. Emperor Gigantor, just one. I thought we had more. 6 mystery. Yeah, here it is. 6 mystery crystals. So a lot of good rewards. Like this is a really good login streak or login campaign, whatever you want to call it. And that's on top of the regular logins that I'm not showing because this is too much news.
Much news.
But this was the special one. And this is something that's like long overdue. So we kept getting those 10+1 tickets from like, the monthly reward, stuff like that, and they're just worthless these days. Finally, they're getting Neovisions added to those 10+1 tickets. So we can now start pulling, Saul and Aerith from these pulls as well. Aren't we excited?
Elated even.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's something. I don't know. I didn't even look at this. What is this? So get the new summon. Oh, it's just a bundle. You can try them out in a bundle. Okay, yeah, a whole bunch of bundles for the anniversary. So we're getting the JP upgrade for Snow, which is pretty cool. Snow in JP got EX abilities, which he's getting on Global. He got Crown abilities, which are not really worth spending your crowns on. It increases his LB damage. Also, his whole kit got upgraded in JP. Like his 90% mitigation is now 4 turns instead of 2, so it's very easy to maintain. He can now equip pretty much everything. All heavy armor, heavy shields, etc. He's no longer like a clothing tank, which was a little awkward. Overall, it is a very, very good tank now after his upgrades. Are you a fan of Snow, Barry?
I suppose.
I mean, it's fine. Chow exists.
Yeah.
So this is cool for people who didn't pull Chow, even though they're bringing Chow back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll probably start using Snow as my like go-to budget magical tank, although my Snow is actually EX3, and that's going to cause people to like, but he's EX3 if I use him as a budget tank instead of like, Chow or something, but...
We'll just say it's build diversity for when Chamber of Vengeance comes back. It's fine.
Pretty much, yeah. And then Esther is getting upgrades, as we mentioned. So her LB is going from regular damage to morale scaling damage. I've seen some people saying in like Reddit and stuff that they think it's going to be lowering the base damage outside of Clash of Wills. I seriously doubt that's the case. I'm almost guaranteeing you that it's going to still be a baseline 200 out of Clash of Wills, same as it is right now, before the modifier boost, and it'll just be higher in Clash of Wills. That being said, I have also seen some criticism on Reddit about how this is going to no longer qualify her for LB buffs, for example, from Warrior of Light or the upcoming Premium Titus STMR. Those are no longer going to work on Esther, whereas before they would have, because those are not compatible with global exclusive LBs. So it's overall a buff, but also in some scenarios kind of a nerf. How do you feel about that, Barry?
That's interesting. I mean, she's very strong as it is, and I mean it's no secret that power creep exists. And with what the potential that Vilk might be, Esther might be pushed aside anyway, at least for some people in some content. Giving her this increases her longevity significantly, I think, because, I mean, we're still talking about using Skye and Lara Croft a year later, which is unheard of in a game like this. So while it might decrease her viability in something like Dark Visions later on, whereas when we get Premium Tidus and Regina, they will both highly benefit from that. Global has made no secret to deciding that they're just going to make their own power tiers for their own units. So, I mean, that is unfortunate for sure, but I don't see it really being that big of a deal long term. People who want to use Esther are still going to use Esther. People who want to use Vilk are going to use Vilk. It's not really that big of a limit. It just means that you don't get to use your shiny new gear to make them slightly better.
Mm-hmm. And the best solution, in my opinion, would be for them to just fix the bug to where it doesn't work with global exclusive LBs. And, that would be the best solution all around. That way you get the best of both worlds. So hopefully that's fixed.
Only hope.
And then she's also getting, when Sylvie is in the party, she's going to get a mod boost to her LB. So she'll do even more damage when Sylvie's in the party. We don't know how much more, but Sylvie seems really good just from her preview, so she's probably going to be in the party anyway. So
I mean, I would never pull for Sylvie. I don't know what would be better.
so that seems really good. So Esther gets an overhaul. And why did I show this? Oh, that's right. Yeah, so this is a special anniversary step up with premiums, and it seems to be exclusively premiums. You can only pull premiums on this banner, I think.
My goodness.
Am I reading this correctly? I could be reading it wrong. Like I said,
I mean, that's usually what curated pull means for them.
On step 6. So step 6. Step 6 is
okay.
only, but it is, so it's,
Is it the one?
Okay.
The one is potentially
The one.
curated.
Yes. Okay, so it's a regular summon, 2 guaranteed any Neos, plus 1 guaranteed curated pull. Okay, read the fine print. We read it. There it is. So you're getting a guaranteed premium at the end, plus a ton of Neos. Pure. Like, this is a lot of Neo Visions. Plus some token or shard tickets, which include premiums and more, probably all the units, regular fragment summons. So okay, that seems decent. So what do you think about this step up banner, Barry?
For me, that's a hard skip. That's the most tempting Lapis trap I've ever seen, potentially ever. For a newer player, if you have, what is that, 10, 15, 20, 28,000 laying around, cool.
Yeah.
But this is also banner 1, week 1 of the anniversary. If I have 28k lying around after pulling this week, I will not throw it at random Neos.
Yeah, for me, probably the same thing, because on this list, like, most of these, I either have them at EX3 or I don't really care about their EX3, or just don't care about them, period. So, like you said, for a newer player, this could be pretty valuable. Maybe, then again, like, I'd say they should probably toss their Lapis at, like, Wilk or something instead, because, more modern units instead of, like, as much as I love Sephiroth, he is showing his age. So, it's a good value banner. It's just that, exactly like you said, we're on the anniversary, so we're moving forward, not looking to the past. I don't know.
And I mean, God forbid you do all of that and get Yuna.
Oh, I know. That's what I was saying, like, the ones I don't care about. I mean, apologies to the Yuna fans out there. There's tons of them, but she was not done justice in Brave Exvius.
I love Yuna, don't get me wrong, but that unit is a train wreck.
I know. So sad. Oh my god, yes, people are going to be hyped about this. Okay, so for those of you that skipped the banner exclusive cards and you're like, I wish I had the Leave It To Me card for the turn 1 OTK content because it auto imperils great swords. Well, apparently all those cards seem to be coming back. So, like, Leave Things To Me, A Touch and Reunion is premium Sephiroth's card. This is premium orange cards. So, like, basically they're selling you premium cards in a bundle. This is going to be a cash bundle. You can tell because it's selling you 5,000 Lapis on top. But if you've got some cash to spend and you just really regret missing cards like Leave It To Me, here's your chance. There it is.
Get a second one, though?
You could get a second one. Yeah, I guess you could. Absolutely.
Oh, dear. That's a terrible decision.
Would you pick a second one, though? I'm not sure I'd really pick a second Leave It To Me card. I don't know. It's honestly, I don't really find myself using it that much except for the auto imperil.
If for some reason, well, yeah, I guess Carton's a little aged at this point. If for some reason, like, Knights of Grandshield's card is on there, well, then no, of course not.
Oh,
Or Dark Reign's card, I mean, that's a no decision, but I don't know. I mean, a Vision card giving some true double hand isn't super bad.
I guess it depends on the price of the bundle. So it's 5,000 Lapis, and just like rough math, they value 5,000
like
Lapis.
$24.99.
Yeah, about $24.99, and then you get the card on top. So if the bundle is, like you said, like $24.99, then for someone that, if you buy Lapis anyway, It's like a free vision card. Why not? But otherwise, depends on the price. If it's like $50, no.
No, hard no.
Yeah,
Can't be.
no.
Would never be. No.
So it really depends on that price. It is anniversary, and they have done exceptionally good deals for anniversary before. So maybe it's like $10. One time thing. Who knows? We'll find out.
Or they decide to just go back to their old bundle structure and say that it's an anniversary
Oh, that'd be
some new thing.
That'd be nice.
Oh, yes, it would.
And what do we have here? We have the producers present. This is just really briefly just showing that we're getting a ton of login rewards, and more importantly, we're getting a NeoVision of choice on Thursday. So it goes all the way up to the Kaito banner, and Kaito himself is included. And someone on Reddit did the math. I think it was 72 Neos in the pool from Kaito and beyond. So if you take out all the premiums and all the limiteds, it's exactly a 72 pool. So yeah, it's all non-premiums, Kaito and before. So this is totally free. So
Free is good, and it's great for many, many players. It doesn't necessarily do me a ton of good personally, but it's great for the state of the game.
So I would recommend like the Gumi knows the ones that are really high value. They're previewing them. Yeah, Roberta or Kaito. If you don't own either of these, this is your pick, hands down. If you're missing both of them, who would be the more important pick between these two, Barry?
I think that is entirely dependent on whether the person in question has Esther. If the person has Esther, then it's Kaido, no question. It's a fantastic breaker with Extreme Nova or Bolding Strike chains on a limit burst damage. If they don't have Esther, I would probably say Roberta for no reason other than fantastic killers and stat buffs.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. But both the units are amazing. Hopefully all players pull for at least one of the two, and now you can get the other one. And if you have both of them, then I don't even know, Oliveira.
Sure.
Someone would be good.
I mean, it's obvious original Aerith.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's for arena strats, man.
Oh, she can AoE raise the whole party.
Yeah, and cure, stop, and charm. That's all you need.
Yeah. So they're replacing the current Chamber of Crystals, and we're getting the Chamber of Supersight, which is available once per day. It's a daily quest. And you get Supersight, and you get Esper Ore as well. I don't think they show that on this specific page, but they showed that on the anniversary stream. So you get Esper Ore for doing it once a day. So everyone should do this. Veterans, new players, everyone, once a day. Do your Chamber of Supersight, get your Esper Ore, and get your Gigasite, etc.
Especially if and when we eventually get 3-star Asura. I can't imagine it being cheap.
Yeah, she is due pretty soon, too. So, in a previous video, I mentioned, like, all veterans in the game have all their Espers maxed, and I got so many comments, like, actually, I've been playing for 6 years, and I don't have all my Espers maxed. So how about you, Barry? Are your Espers maxed out?
Oh, God, yeah. But I'm one of the rare lames who actually does expeditions.
Oh,
so.
yeah?
yeah, definitely. I mean, my boards aren't, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
Good. So this is going to be helpful for many, many players.
Yes.
Daily Fragment Dungeon coming back, and this is the old format where you're getting 5 per day for 2 weeks, so a total of 70 shards maximum per unit, or you can, mix and match if you want to. And then, as we know from the stream, in 2 months we're going to the JP format. So, are you hyped about the future change, or are you kind of like one of the people that would prefer the 70 at a time, once per 3 months? Which is your preference, Barry?
Daily for sure. I mean, ever since they first did that thing that we're getting again with the friend point random shard pulls, and now we have random units that have 1 shard or 2 shards. It's the most frustrating thing in the world to look at. So at least now it kind of justifies them actually doing that friend point summon format. Plus it's a little less defeating if you come up 20 shards short because all they give you for logins is 30, and now at most realistically you'll have to run them for 3 weeks. and now you have them wherever they need to be again. So daily is always going to be better.
Yep, I agree entirely. And we get item world, which we're not going to go over too much, but this time the weapon in item world is actually basically ST Martyr. It really kind of is almost. So
Definitely.
it's a two-handed hammer with 175 attack and defense, and 100% double hand for attack and defense. So this can be used on if you're in Clash of Wills and you're using Maeve as your tank, and maybe you don't have Kaito and you don't have like a weapon in peril for the physical DPS you're using. You could put this on a physical DPS if they can wear hammers. A lot of units can't, but some can, like Carton, for example, could use this, and this gives double hand. Or for Maeve herself, her damage is a little bit of a meme, but I mean, it is there, and she can do damage. This is way better than Dahama, which we got last time.
Oh God, terrible.
So,
And the variability on it's pretty good too. So.
yeah, the unique. I thought it said gave double hand defense more here. It doesn't. Oh well.
Killers though.
It does.
They're common killers, but hey, why not?
Yeah, pretty nice. Other than that, it's item world. Great, we have it again. There was also, I'm just going to mention, I didn't show it, a bunch more logins, a bunch more free stuff. We're getting the friend point summon and all that. There was just too many slides to show it all. Just know that we're getting even more free stuff on Thursday.
Now that I've become a bit of a cynic, because every time I'd look at those logins, I'm waiting for them to tell me that they're not actually giving the 12K up front, and they're splitting it over 3 months of logins. I was waiting for it every single time.
But we are getting that on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then the coolest thing, our anniversary Clash of Wills, the Assimilator of Unknown Origin. Oh God, how do you say this? Thrananathor. Okay.
Sure.
So he alternates different elements per turn. The duration of positive effects are reduced when dealt damage of the correct element every turn. So that sounds like he's going to like self-apply Kaito's Magnus when you're using the proper elements. He's going to punish you if you don't do the. That's pretty typical stuff. If you don't do the right elements, you get punished. He buffs himself when he's below half. So I guess you're going to want to do your burst damage in phase 1. He fills own morale gauge after a certain number of turns. Okay, so I guess you've got like a clock to win. Looks pretty cool. So what do you think about the sprite and all?
The sprite looks fantastic. I look forward to seeing it dynamically at tier 5. Depending on how much it fills its own morale gauge, though, that could be an absolute nightmare.
Oh yeah, to put on like a little clock. Let's see. Let's go through here. New scoring criteria. Let's see. Based on the players.
Sure.
Oh, look at this though.
See, that's nice. I like that.
So now you're not locked to 10-turn clear. You can go longer.
Well, until they start giving them auto deaths at turn 8. But, yeah. And that's actually pretty nice. I mean, it pretty much almost forces you to have Vilk and Sylvie's cards, though.
Yeah.
In a weird roundabout kind of way. Or you specifically have to build high morale gauge fill on either Brave Shift or base form.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here looking at it. Okay, so based on this, if there's no hard turn limit anymore, it's kind of like a soften raise, because if you go too long, he's going to start gaining excessive morale, it sounds like, and you have to kill him with your morale gauge above 180, which I assume is going to be probably impossible if you're on like turn 25, because he's ramped up his own morale gain by too much. So, okay, so like a soft timer.
On if it's a one-time huge fill, or if it's every that number of turns it fills again.
That'd be,
because if it's a one-time thing where it actually kicks all the way in the opposite direction, that's awful.
Oh yeah. I'm just briefly browsing. I think that all this is the same. No other big updates other than final morale score. Yeah.
Although that kind of makes it take more time to one turn kill everything and grind up to 99. Because now you're only going to go up a few ranks at a time. You're not going to get that S plus for morale after tier 1,
Oh, well, that, what tier does it start? It
2.
starts on tier 2. Ugh. Yeah, you're right.
So now it's a still slightly longer push to 99, I suppose.
Ah, well. Oh, well. So, also for people, just, for my own personal thing, I will say that I do plan to live stream Clash of Wills again, but this time, because there is such an extreme amount of content on Thursday, I will probably do like polls and item world and all that stuff, on my own. And once I get all that done, then I will go to Clash of Wills and live stream it. So if I live stream, it probably won't be until like an hour or two after server comes up instead of like right away like I did last month.
Right.
But
Don't forget that sweet, sweet 60 pull.
oh yeah, we get a weekly 60 poll. You're right. Oh, also I should mention the maintenance. I don't have the slide for it. The maintenance this week is 11 hours expected, and I guess because it's so big, potentially even extensions. So very long maintenance.
I've noticed they're always pretty long when they give us inventory increases.
So anything else you want to say before we head out, Barry?
Pull for Sylvie.
I plan
Just
to.
do it.
I
Just
plan
do
to.
it. Everyone, just do it. Worst case scenario, you get off but on banner Esther's. You won't be upset. Pull for Sylvie. Just do it.
All right. Thanks again for joining me. I will see you guys on Thursday.
Deal.
Later.